So, I forgot to do my tier list at the end of Fire Emblem Fates Conquest. So, I'm going to quickly do that now and it's just going to be its own separate video. So, we have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 tiers. We have S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, Who Dat, and Shadow Realm for the ultimate of the losers. And this is by no means based off of how strong the character is or how well their character is written. This is only my personal opinion, and as we all know, my opinion is law, so anything else other than this is just wrong. Uh, anyway, jokes aside, let's begin. So, there's a lot of characters I didn't see in Conquest that I've seen. Like, there's a lot of characters in here that I did not see in my playthrough. So, a lot of people are going to be going into Who Dat. Actually, I'm going to put another tier in here, add a row below, and put it into seen but never used, or just like seen but hardly used. I'm gonna make that the faded green, and we're gonna make this one like the stronger green. I guess that's the same as the D tier. Hang on, let's do gray tier. They can be gray tier, but seen but never used is better than Who Dat, because Who Dat just doesn't exist. Like Anna's in there. Arthur. Whoops. Hang on. There we go. Arthur, I'm gonna kind of put into the probably B or C tier, cause like maybe C tier. Cause I gave him so many chances to like do well, and he just kept failing and taking up a unit slot, which gave me a bad opinion of him. But I think he's kind of funny. Like, I think in the later game he could be good, but I didn't get a chance to use him in the late game. Because in the late game, trading hit rate for crit rate seems fine, because your hit rates are already so high, it's not going to matter. But I didn't get there, and I again didn't get a chance to use him. I think he's funny, but I can't really put him higher than C tier. Maybe bottom of B tier, depending on how things play out. We'll see. Then we have Azura. I like her less than Birthright. Because she's still like the same, I gotta keep all my secrets and never tell you anything. And then at the end of Conquest, she just dips and leaves, and you don't see her, which is even worse. I am liking Azura less and less. Especially since I didn't get Shigure, so I couldn't have other moments with her. I don't like her as much as before. So it's not... I don't know. I didn't like Azura as much this playthrough. She was still just as useful, but I didn't like her character as much, so C tier this time. Corrin, the main character, I struggle with this. Probably B tier, because the characterization in Conquest is worse than Birthright, especially at the very end of the game. When Azura tells you, Takumi, also, wait, okay, so, spoilers, if you weren't aware, there's a tier list, so spoilers for the plot. When Azura tells you, that's not Takumi, he's gone, that's the same thing that took over Garen, you can't reason with it, and then Corrin stands there like an idiot and goes, I know you're my brother, you won't shoot me, and then gets shot. Like a dumbass, like they deserve to get. That brought the character down like a whole tier for me. Like, that is the single stupidest moment that I have ever seen from any character in any Fire Emblem game that I've played so far. That is the stupidest moment I've ever seen. Nothing tops that yet. But like, man, if it wasn't for that, I would probably put Corrin in high A, maybe top of S. Maybe top of S. But because of that stupid moment, like down a whole tier from A to B. I hated that moment so much, it made the characters so much worse in my eyes. Benny. I didn't use him too much, but I liked his character. A bit more than Arthur. So I'll put him in the C tier. I thought he was funny. If I would have used him more, I probably would have put him higher. But I already had an Armor Knight, and I didn't want to use him. Speaking of which, FE S tier. Very funny. I enjoy her character a lot. I enjoy that her character is consistent. I enjoy that her character isn't just one trope. She does have other layers to her. They're not super prevalent in some areas, but they're still there. Like, she's not a Kellum or anything, but she's still a really good Armor Knight. Baruka, seen but never used. I think I might have used her on maybe one mission and not anything else. So I didn't really use her that much. Hang on, let's switch these. You can be the gray tier, you can be the blue tier. That's better. I think she's okay. She just seems like standard edgelord to me, which isn't bad, just a little bit tropey. Camilla is okay. Better than Corrin. She has a bit of depth, but I feel like her character is. I don't know. Her character is stuck between being too obsessed with Corrin and not obsessed enough with Corrin. I think if they would have pushed her character in either of those directions, they could have done a lot more with it. If they would have pushed her a little bit more into the being crazy about Corrin, I think they could have had a bit more, like, you could put a little bit more into her character, and like if anyone like badmouths Corrin, then she kind of goes like, what are you doing over there? I don't like the way you're doing that. And then as you progress through the story, she learns to like back off a little bit. Or if you start her off a little bit less obsessed with Corrin, it's not quite as weird. And then maybe you later find out that she's secretly really obsessed with Corrin, but she hides it, and then she kind of works that back into a happy medium. I think she's kind of stuck in the middle between a little bit too obsessed and not quite obsessed enough, depending on the scene and what the writers need at that current time. It's not too bad. I still rate her higher than Corrin, but I'll put her in the B tier. Charlotte, didn't really like her. I used her maybe once. D tier, worse than Benny. I did not like her. I think her character is written decently. Like, she has her motives and she's there for what she wants, and she's very self-serving. That's her whole thing. And she's very flirty, she's very outgoing. That's her character. But I don't like those characters. I don't like the openly super flirty, confident characters. Speaking of which, Niles, also D tier. Same thing. I don't like the super outgoing tier. I was considering putting Niles in Shadow Realm, but I got some decent use out of him, and we had the Niles and Miles bit for a bit. So he can stay out of the Shadow Realm and stay into D tier. Dwyer, we didn't get him this time, so who dat? Elise, S tier. I love her character. I really love that she tries to grow as a character, and she has purpose, and she continues to evolve, both with like her retainers and the other characters. Elise might have some of the best character growth in Conquest. Okay, so first off, the story in Conquest is terrible. Alright, moving on from that. I'm just going to not say anything else about that. But Elise is one of the best characters. She has some of the most growth, and I feel like her character is also pretty consistent, but also like open-minded. So she's not just a character who has a character trope and then suddenly decides to go against that character trope because the narrative said so. She has her doubts and she changes her mind based on what's happening around her, which is good. Felicia, also S tier. I gotta love my clumsy maid baby. I love her. She's great. If I didn't marry Effie, I probably would have married Felicia because I like her so much. Also, gotta put Flora up here, especially with Flora the hero. It was really great. I really liked Flora. I might actually put Flora maybe in A tier for now, just because I like her for the joke, but I didn't get Flora super fast because I didn't realize that you had to build up that fire orb to get her. So I got her about halfway to maybe two-thirds of the way through the game. I didn't have a lot of use with her right at the end. Probably closer to 2/3, 3/4. But I still really did like Flora, and the fact that she didn't Sudoku for absolutely no reason this time definitely helps. Her character is definitely better in Conquest than Birthright, which is something I probably will not say very often, maybe only once. But Flora's character is better in Conquest than it is in Birthright, for sure. Forest, S tier. Above, just barely above Felicia. Maybe not even. This is tough. I could probably go either way on these two. I really like Forrest. I like Forrest's character. I like what he stands for. I think he's just a fun character. Also, the fact that he managed to dodge 270% in his intro chapter was great. Hopefully that keeps me alive long enough. So you should live. Why do you do 28? What? Miss though, and I think I lose now. Bye, Forrest. That is insane. That was pretty. That like really made him stick out to me in my head right away. And the fact that Leo is so accepting of Forrest and it just strengthens their bond is also just really good writing. Also, where is he? Where's Leo? Where'd he go? Where are you, Leo? Leo, you're in the S tier too. You're really good. You're a good character. You get to go. Oops, I scrolled down a little bit too far. You get to go up here. Leo, really good character, well written, very consistent. He has his own motives, but he doesn't really want to go against his siblings too much. But his character is still consistent. He's a little rough around the edges, but that's part of his character, which is really good. They didn't soft him. They didn't like make him super soft, and they didn't make him super tough. They just they made a character, and then they made him a little bit rough around the edges to make sure that he was still a consistent character, but you could see some flaws and some softness poking through there, which I think very well written, just like Elise. Gunter, Shadow Realm. Gunter should have died. He shouldn't have come back. Terrible story writing. That whole falling into the abyss and entering the ham dimension, which is a dimension between dimensions. Like if your dimensions are bread and that between dimension is the ham, that's what it is. It's the ham dimension. Gunter should not have come back. He should be dead. The whole ham dimension arc was stupid. Should never have gotten back. You know what? Just for that, Azura goes down to D tier. Because she doesn't explain anything about it or how it works or anything. She just keeps all that to herself. She apparently knows how it works, but she's not going to tell you because the writers couldn't be bothered. Azura down to D tier. I don't know who this is. No idea. Izana? Seen but never used. I didn't really use Izana. Just like in Birthright. By the time they come around, I have better units that fill the same role. I didn't really care. Jacob, kind of like in C tier. I used him a little bit, but not very much, because I already had Felicia, and I already had Elise, and I already had Forrest, so I didn't really need Jacob. He can sit in the middle in C tier. I used him a little bit, so he's not seen but never used, because I used him once or twice, and he's okay, but maybe not above Benny. He's just okay. Kana. So I'm just going to move female Kana to the end, because I had male Kana this time. I think male Kana is B tier. I had female Kana this time. Switch that back. I think female Kana is A tier, and I think male Kana is S tier. I think the little personality tweaks they made they make them both better characters, because they are not the same character. They are still very similar, but they're not quite the same. I just think male Kana he has more of a cuteness to him than female Kana does. I don't know. There's something about the character as written that really just makes me just want to pick up male Kana and just give him the biggest bear hug of his life. And female Kana, I'll give her a hug too, but it won't be the biggest bear hug of her life. Do I have favorites between my children? I absolutely do. But you know what? You can never tell them that, except on a tier list. I think female Kana is still high, still in the A tier, maybe even above Flora. These two are kind of interchangeable as well. But I think I just like male Kana a little bit more. I think it might also be the voice acting. The voice acting on, I think, male Kana is more... I think it's more convincing that he's just a kid who just wants to make his parent proud. Whereas female Kana is a little bit more arrogant. It almost comes off as a little bit more arrogant to me. A little bit more confident, full of himself, kind of. In the bloated ego kind of way. Not the I'm confident because I know I can do this in the cool confident kind of way, kind of thing. I don't know, it's just that little bit of character difference. Female Kana is in no way bad. Not a bad character at all. Still A tier. But I'll just male Kana I like just a little bit more. Then we move to Kaz, and I think I might put him in the B tier this time. Um, maybe a little bit higher than Korin. I didn't use him as much, and he was still very useful, and I enjoyed using him, but not quite as much as Birthright. So if I remember correctly, Kaz was A tier in Birthright, but in Conquest, I'm going to put him into the B tier. I didn't feel like he had as much of a connection with the main character. He was just kind of there a little bit more. So I'll put him in B tier this time. He's still a good unit. He's still fun to have, but not quite as good as Birthright. Wolf Boy. I don't remember his name. I didn't use him very much, but also in the B tier because I really just liked him. He seemed like a gruff guy with like this really happy inside, and I didn't quite crack the shell, so I couldn't see the happy guy inside. But I'm still gonna put him in the B tier because the times that I did use him, I still really enjoyed it. I think it was a good time. We have Laszlo. Did I use Laszlo? I think I might have used him once. And I think he's just unremarkable. I don't know if I ever did that, so I'll put him in Seen and Never Used because I don't really remember him. I might have used him a couple times. I just really don't remember. It's also been, what is it? 18th. Also, yeah, I'm recording this at 4:40 in the morning because I just remembered now. And I have to stream in 10 hours or 9 hours almost. So there's that. Oops. But this is not coming out the same day. This is coming out later because I'm going to do a little bit of editing here. But yeah, I don't really remember too much of Laszlo. I might have used him a little bit, but not very much. If I did use him, then he can go to maybe bottom of C tier. Cause I remember him at least. But maybe not, maybe D tier, I'm not sure. Midori S tier. Midori is great. Midori is adorable. Put her... Better than Leo? No. Better than Felicia? No. Better than Forest? Maybe these two are interchangeable, I think. Also, Midori and Forest, their conversations, those are adorable. Those are great. I think I'll put these as a tie. Midori and Forest are tied up here. They're either, they can go either way. They are fantastic. Mozu, even worse than last time. Like C tier. She is a lot more boring, and basically I only used her to marry Kaz to get a super powerful Midori. That's all I really used her for. I just wanted the aptitude. Like, Mozu, she was fun in the first one, then she kind of fell off, and then in this one, she also just kept falling off, and I couldn't really use her, so she kind of got benched a little bit faster than normal, so I didn't really get a chance to use her, and I realized that compared to some of the other characters like Leo and Elise and Forest, she's kind of boring. So she'd be D tier if she didn't have aptitude, but she has aptitude, which helps make Midori so strong, so she can be in C tier. You, I have no idea who you are. I never met you. Nyx, A tier. A tier for Nyx. She's kind of a little bit of an edgy mage, kind of dark mage user, but she has an interesting story. I kind of liked it, with the whole I was cocky with my magic and now I'm cursed forever because of a mistake I made when I'm younger, and that mistake has left a permanent mark on me. I don't remember if it was ever established if she ever ages or not. I don't think she does. I think she's stuck at this age forever, which actually is really sad because it means she's going to outlive everybody. Not outgrow. She'll outlive everybody. which makes the curse even worse because you're cursed with immortality, so you have to watch everyone you know and love die, which like makes her story even more intriguing. It's like, especially when she's teamed up with Leo and they're both like really powerful with magic and they're both kind of looking at this and like he's not judging her based on her appearance and she's like, "No, you don't want this. Like I'm just I'm someone who will just be cursed here forever." And he's like, "No. No. I see the person on the inside." It's a really good storyline. I really do like that. Odin, I don't know. He's a bit extra for me. He's a bit too much. Better than Niles, better than Charlotte, not better than Azura. He's a bit extra. I think I might maybe grow to like him if I used him and saw some supports, but he's a bit too extra for me, so I don't have too much to say on him, so no thanks. I don't know who you are. Who are you? You're a superhero kid. I like this. I don't know who this is, but based on that design alone, you can be in the C tier. I like superhero kid. Wait, is that your kid? You have similar colors. Is that Arthur's kid? He might be. Well, okay, so technically this guy is here, but because of his design alone, he looks really funny. He can go up here, but technically he's got to be in Who Dat. Perry, same as Odin. Bit too much. A bit too much for me. Like again with Odin and with Perry, I think they are decently written characters, but I it's not my type of character, so I would rather not. I'd rather not be with those characters. It's a bit too much for me. Perry to me is like Astarion in Baldur's Gate 3. I think they are decent characters. I don't know if Perry's well written, but like Astarion, very well written. I just don't like the character. I don't like him. And people told me like, give Astarion a chance, do his whole story. I did his story. I still don't like him. No thank you. Don't like. I'm not gonna like everything just because you like it. Sorry, but I don't. Like Perry. I think she's a decent character, but I don't like her. Wait, Rinka's here? Well, if I can recruit Rinka in Conquest, I never did, so who dat? Sakura also never recruited if that's possible, so not here. Selena did okay. I'll put her maybe beside Camilla. Not above Camilla, but maybe above Kaz. I felt like Selena had a little bit more character, especially a lot more character since Birthright. A little bit more character, especially when you see the supports between her and Camilla, where you get to learn, and her and Corrin, where you really get to learn a bit more about her. I thought that was pretty good. I liked learning a little bit about her. It's weird that she's like a copy character or whatever from Severa. She just looks the same as Severa from Awakening, but I don't know. That's a whole other can of worms that maybe I'll get into when I do Revelation or when I do the DLCs for Fates. We'll see. Shigure we didn't get this time. Shura is just seen but never used. I don't know who you are either. Who dat? Silas is about the same as he was in Birthright. He felt like he had a little bit more agency this time. So put him a little bit higher here. I think I'm also going to put Corrin above Kaz here. Silas is just like the classic friend. Maybe it's because I feel like Silas with male Corrin has a bit more character. Like, it's a bit more about friendship and a little bit less romantic undertone, which I liked. I think it would have been a lot better if they had done that for the female side as well. A little bit less of that romantic undertone. Because they only knew each other when they were kids, and they haven't seen each other for like 15 years. I think the whole friendship thing would have been a lot better to do instead. But I liked him a little bit more here. I mean, I say that, I don't even know where did I even place him in the other one? Let me go check. Where is he? Here it is. So it looks like I put him... Oh. I can't move this. There we go. Looks like I put him in The B tier here. So I would say, yeah, he goes in the B tier again. Maybe up to here. About the same place as last time. You look awesome. I don't know who you are, though, but you look really cool. Who are you? Are you, what, Felicia's kid? 'Cause pink hair? You Perry's kid, maybe? Oh no, she's blue with pink highlights. So the pink is probably... No, well, the pink is probably her natural hair color, then. Maybe, I don't know. Then we go up to Sophie. Again, well, I think Sophie's a better character than last time. But compared to the rest of the cast, I don't know if she goes higher. I liked Sophie a little bit more. Not more than Nyx, but Sophie goes in the A tier. A pretty solid A tier placement for Sophie. I feel like because I got her a little bit faster this time. Wait, did I even use Sophie this time? I don't remember. I remember using her, but I don't know if I actually did. Oh, I did. I definitely did. She had purple hair. That's why I'm not recognizing her because it was Camilla and Silas. Yeah, I remember using her now. I think she feels like she was almost stronger this time, and maybe that has to do uh, with her mom being Camilla this time instead of uh someone else. I don't remember who it was, but or maybe she just got better level ups or whatever. But I felt like she also had maybe more support conversations. I got to know her character a bit more, so I liked her more a little bit more this time than Birthright. I have no idea who you are. And then we have Xander, our last character. Xander, I feel, is probably A tier or B tier. I feel like the siblings in Conquest are written so much better than the siblings in Birthright. I'll probably put Xander maybe... No, maybe here? Maybe I'll put him there? Maybe not quite above Corrin. Corrin has their moments, but the one that end game stupidity just sucks so much. I think I'll put Xander here. Cause he's not just Ryoma, a one-faced whatever. Ryoma is such a one-note character. Xander has a little bit of depth to him, which I do like a lot more. I think I'll put Xander over here into like the middle of B tier. Maybe below Silas? No, not below Silas. Silas goes below Kaz as well, I think. Does he? Maybe we do this. We put Camilla further up into A. Maybe. I did get a lot of support conversation with Camilla. I don't think I'll put Camilla up there though. Camilla's just maybe a touch too extra for me. Cause she's like Maribel with the like flirtiness to everybody. But Camilla is almost a little endearing, whereas Maribel almost falls flat and it feels fake. Same with Niles. Like the very flirty personality, but it feels fake. I don't know if it is fake, it just almost falls flat or feels fake for some reason. Whereas Camilla, it feels like she actually does. Maybe not to the extent, she's probably embellishing it a little bit, but it feels like she actually does care about you, at least to some extent. Then we just have, yeah, just male Kana left down there. So, okay, that's nobody else. So I think we only have one in the Shadow Realm, I think. Only Gunter. And that's just because Gunter should have died. He should not have been in the story. Want to move anyone else? Let's see. So we have Effie in the S tier. Effie or Elise? No, keep those. Elise versus Leo. No, Leo versus Felicia. I think I'll put Felicia a little bit higher, actually. I do like Felicia a little bit more. And then Leo versus Forrest. That's a close one. I think I'll stick with Leo above Forrest. Forrest and Midori, No, Forrest and Midori are interchangeable here. So would I be willing to do that? Or keep him here? No, that doesn't feel right. Put Leo here. Put Leo here even? I don't know. Felicia and Leo are pretty close in my books. I like them both. I think no, I think I'll put Leo above Felicia just by a hair. Just a little bit above Felicia. I feel like I like his character a bit more than Felicia's. Felicia's pretty similar to how she was in Birthright with a little bit of adjustment here and there. But Leo's just that little bit better. Then we have Flora and Kana. Hmm. You know what? I think I'm gonna do this. I'll put Flora a little bit further down, if only because I got her late in the game. You know what? Even under Nyx. Under Sophie though. Uh, Maybe. I think these two are also interchangeable. Sophie and Flora might be interchangeable here. I do enjoy both of them. Then we have Camilla and Selena. Yeah, Camilla above Selena versus Corin. No, Corin I liked more. Corin versus Camilla. Uh, hmm. Hmm. Yeah, Corin versus Sophie now. No, Corin stays down here. Corin. Then we have Selena versus Xander. Yeah. Selena versus Silas. No. Selena stays above Silas. Silas above. Oh, what's his name? Keaton? Keaton, that's his name. Silas above Keaton? Yeah, Keaton above Kaz? No. Put Kaz above. Put Kaz even above Silas. Kaz above Selena? Um. Hmm. Maybe I think these two are interchangeable. Selena and Kaz are about the same. They're interchangeable. They're linked. Then we have Keaton versus Benny. Definitely Benny. Benny versus Jacob. Yeah. Jacob versus Arthur? Nah. Arthur versus Mozu. About the same. Arthur versus Azura? I think I'm gonna flip these two. Put Arthur down. Put Azura up here. And Azura in the C tier? Uh uh yeah. Yeah, I'll put her in the C tier. I think I might like the black outfit on her a little bit more than the white outfit in one of those cutscenes. Maybe. They're pretty close. I feel like Azura doesn't make as many dumb mistakes as she does in Birthright, maybe. I don't remember the stories too much, but I know in Birthright, Azura had a lot more secrets. She's a bit more open with you in Conquest, which helps. But I also still just don't like her as much because of those same secrets. So I'll put her maybe to C tier, keep her there. You have Arthur versus Odin, Odin versus Maribel. Those are, sorry, Odin versus Charlotte. Those are about the same. Charlotte versus Niles. These are also about the same. These are also about the same. So these D tier is kind of any which way you put it. Anywhere in here. Just Arthur's at the top. Seen but never used. Can't really do that. Who dat? Can't really do that. Can't really rearrange these at all. Except gotta put this guy up top because he looks great. I like this guy. I don't know who this is, but I like the superhero look. He's great. He or she looks like a guy, but you can't tell. Can't really tell in this game. So whoever they are, they're great. And then Gunter stays in the Shadow Realm, and we have just male Kana here. It doesn't really do anything. I had a female Kana, and we already put female Kana top of A tier, so we can't do that. But there we go. I think I'm happy with this. This will be my tier list. So that's how we have it for our Fire Emblem Fates Conquest tier list. I'm gonna also just take a screenshot of that and save it as well. But I think that's good. I'm happy with this. As always, my word is law. If you have another opinion, it's invalid. But with that said, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you for the next video.